Hi guys, how are you doing? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Neil. If you've not been here before, please do not forget to press subscribe before you leave. Welcome to Gear Chat number 4. In today's Gear Chat, we are going to discuss the Engl Savage 25. That's right, I just said it, the Engl Savage 25. I also have a package over there behind the camera that I need to unbox for you guys. And also I want to talk about at the end of this video the worldwide guitar shortage that there is now. We got warned about this just over 12 months ago, maybe even 2 years ago now, that this was going to happen. And believe me, we are right in the middle of it right now. There is a real worldwide guitar shortage. Okay, so some of you guys will know that I'm a huge Engl amps fan. In fact, I used Engl amps for many years. I had the original Powerball, and then I moved from the Powerball, believe it or not, down to the Fireball 60, and I had two Fireball 60s at one point and an Engl 212, and that tone got more compliments than probably just about anything I've ever used when I was out there gigging. Engl then changed things slightly, and they started bringing out Mark IIs, you know, which basically is the Powerball Mark II, the Savage Mark II, which we'll talk about in a minute, and the Fireball 60 then became the Fireball 100. Now what I noticed when they changed them, they changed the amps and they changed the faceplates to black, which did look better actually. I really like the way Engl, you know, nobody can mock Engl amps for the way they look. They do look like metal beasts, you know, they look absolutely awesome. But yeah, not only did they change the look, but something changed within the amps. So basically the amps, at least to me, feel-wise, and to me in the room, suddenly had a lot more clout, a lot more poke, a lot more balls, actually. The Powerball Mark II has a lot more punch and openness to it, I think. The Fireball 100, the same, it's a lot more punchy than the 60. You know, I don't know how true it is, but a lot of people were saying that the Fireball 60 was not 60 at all. It was like a 30 watt amp, but who knows? I don't know whether there's any truth in that. That was just something I heard at a guitar show. But yeah, so yesterday Engl Amps put a post out on their Instagram, Facebook and social media pages, and it basically said, what amp would you want to see next, you know, in the 25 watt zone, range, whatever. So Engl have some mini amps. They have the Fireball 25 and they have the Iron Ball, and they're pretty awesome amps, you know, for low wattage heads. They've not made a Savage yet. Now, in my opinion, it was pretty obvious that everybody was going to go in there and write Savage. And, you know, I went in there and I was one of the people that wrote Savage in there because I think it would just be awesome. And, you know, take my money, basically. If Engl make a 25 watt Savage head, then you can take my money right now. Now, at the moment, they have a 120 watt Savage, which is about £2,100, £2,200 here in the UK, Thomann. And there is also a 60 watt Savage, which is about £1,800, £900. So not that much difference price-wise between the 60 watt and the 120 watt. So I guess if you've got some money, or you can wait a bit longer and save up, or you can stretch to £200 or £300 more, you may as well go for the 120 watt head, because that is all singing, all dancing. Now, the thing that I love about the Engl Savage is that there is a control on there, which I've forgotten the damn name of actually. It's basically a button. You press it and it brings in loads of really nice growling mids, and I absolutely love that tone. Now, the question is that the Savage amps have so many features on them, so many channels, so many specs. They do quite a lot. I don't know how they will cram that into a small 25 watt head, like say the Engl 25 watt Fireball. I guess it would be a similar size, and I don't know how they'd cram all the amazing features of say a Savage 120 into a 25 watt head. They will probably have to get rid of some of those features, some of those channels, and squash the thing down, you know, so it's got less tones in it. But when you do that, there is a danger of losing some of the favorite tones of some people, you know. Now EVH, they're a perfect example of this. They had to bring out 3 lunchbox amps. One has say like a clean and a rhythm, one has a lead and a clean, and so forth. So they brought out 3 versions with the different modes on, and I think that would be an interesting option for Engl to do, to make sure that they cover all the tones in the Savage. So they could bring out one Savage that has some features on, and then another Savage that has some other features on, and maybe bring out 2 or 3 25-watt Engl Savages. So that's only my opinion, and that's what I think, but I'm pretty sure, I'm not sure in this post whether Engl were teasing us, and maybe they already know damn well they're going to release a Savage, or whether they were just asking us for some feedback to see if it was worth making one and if it would sell. And I'm pretty sure it would, because the Savage 120, that is the flagship Engl right now. So I'm pretty sure once you put that Savage name on a 25-watt head that's more affordable, then it's going to sell, in my opinion. I really think it would sell, because there's probably a lot of guys out there who own Powerballs and maybe Fireballs that do want the Savage but just can't stretch to it fund-wise. So yeah, very interesting post from Engl Amps. I do love Engl Amps. I have been in touch with Engl Amps a couple of times, actually. I need to hook back up with them. I'll see if I can get some Engls on the channel. I've got my Engl 412 down here, which I use now and then. It nearly tears the room down, to be honest, so I try not to use it. The mids are really strong on the amp. But yeah, always been a fan of Engl amps and owned a hell of a lot of Engl amps in the past. Right, moving on now, I want to talk about the worldwide guitar shortage. We were warned about this a couple of years ago. Basically, COVID, which, we have to keep mentioning even though we want to forget about the damn thing. The pandemic came along and basically shut production down all over the place. Okay, so basically every year when guitar brands release guitars, they just used to get made, and they used to be about, when they'd get released at NAMM, you'd probably wait midsummer for some of the guitars before you could, for the show up and you pre-order them. With the pandemic, that changed to about 12 months. Guitars were taking about 12 months to show up. So a good example of that is the Jackson Brandon Ellis. I ordered that guitar as a Jackson artist, and I had to wait 12 months. I probably got the first one in the UK or thereabouts, The first one that came actually was damaged, so I had to send it back, so I had to wait again. But yeah, it was a bit of a wait, and it was around the 12-month mark, and it was after then, the year after then, that things got progressively much worse. The South Korean factory seems to be one that is really, really struggling to get guitars out. There are guitars, in fact I have a guitar on order now that is made in South Korea, and it's just coming to over a year and a half since that guitar was launched. So I'm on my way, well on my way to waiting 2 years for that guitar to come out of South Korea. Now this has hit some brands hard, and because the South Korea factory is so awesome, this is a South Korean guitar, by the way. I love that factory. They make brilliant stuff, really good quality, and it's a shame, that they can't get back on top of things and make guitars. Now, the Indonesian factory is a strange one, because the guitars that are made in Indonesia seem to be coming out still. Like, for instance, how have Solar managed to get the new X-Type out there? People have got their photos with it now, they're owning the guitar, and it was only revealed, 2-3 months ago, and people already got it in their hands. This is something I don't understand. Chapman Guitars also did this with the ML Standard series. 3 new models came out, ML1, ML2, ML3. I got a couple of them on the channel, and there is still a shortage in Indonesia, and Chapman Guitars and Solar Guitars are still struggling like everyone else to get enough guitars to sell, to the size of the demand. However, what I will say is that Chapman released the Standard series, and it was just available, and so was the Type X Solar guitar. So I'm quite confused with the guitar shortage. I don't understand how Chapman and Solar could do that. What I'm wondering is if Chapman just waited until the guitars were made or nearly ready before they actually released the press on them, rather than releasing the press and then having no guitars for a while. I'm wondering if Solar did the same. So I'm wondering if that's how that's worked and how that's possible. Maybe the X-Type has been around a while, and Ola has been waiting for them. Solar Guitars have been waiting for them to actually be almost ready, to have a good amount of them ready to go out. And maybe Chapman Guitars did the same. The Indonesian factory is struggling to get them out, guitars, just like everywhere else, but I don't think it's struggling quite as much as South Korea. Whether it's a bigger factory, and that's the reason why, it could be, I don't know. As far as Chinese go and Chinese guitars, The problem with this guitar shortage is that now I feel that Chinese guitars that are made, you know, for less money, that cost the brands less money to make, I feel like Chinese guitars now are suddenly costing around £1,000 over the last couple of years, when really they shouldn't. Somebody somewhere is making a lot of money there, and it's not the guy that's buying the guitar. You know, so many guitars now say made in China on the back, and the problem is that guitar has cost less to make for the brand, but the price is still, you know, Indonesian price. You know, I don't know how much difference there is between a Chinese guitar and an Indonesian guitar to produce. Okay, obviously I'm not a brand, so I don't have these details, but it would be interesting to find out what the difference is, whether they cost the same to make. But I assume that Chinese guitars don't cost quite as much to make as Indonesian guitars, depending on how much effort you want the guys in Indonesia to put into QC and where the budget goes and things like that. So it's quite complicated, but yeah, we are right in the middle right now, believe me guys, of a worldwide guitar shortage. And this has had a knock-on effect on the used market as well. So if you are waiting for your amp to sell or your guitar to sell and it isn't, the reason for that is because so many people have guitars and other instruments like that on pre-order at stores, and they've probably been waiting 12 months, you know, and they know they've got that product on pre-order, so they kind of sat on this money, and it's creating a backlog. So when something comes up they like on the used market, they're not buying it because they know that soon they're going to get hit with a bill for the guitar that they've got on pre-order. So it's having a knock-on effect right across the used market, and it is not good right now. Okay, things are not moving on production wise. Right, now we're going to unbox this, or unpackage this thing here. I got this off Amazon, and I bought this, I've ordered it. You know, Amazon have not sent me this, you know, the store has not sent me this, but this is basically something that I've been looking at buying for a while, and I'll just show you it. So this is the Behringer Ultra Voice XM8500. I think they've recently changed the name of this microphone. I think it used to be just the XM85. I can't remember. Anyway, I've been looking at buying one of these for a while. I'm a big fan of the Shure SM58, okay, for miking guitars up. A lot of people use the 57. The 57 is in all of my videos, by the way. It's down here beside me right now, and I mainly use the 57 just because it's what you guys are used to hearing, but I prefer the SM58 for miking up guitars, and it's personal choice. I know it's mainly a vocal mic, but what I want to say is the reason I prefer the 58 is because I feel like when I've tested one against the other in a studio, so not really, you know, with much time on my hands when my band's going in a studio, I've tested two mics, and I preferred the 58, and the reason for that is because for me personally, I feel like it's got a bit of a wider sound to it than the 57. I don't know, it's got a bit more presence for sure, it's a bit more crunchy, a bit more crispy, but it's more the wider field that it seems to have that I can hear or that I tune into that I like about it. So anyway, this mic here is a copy basically of the SM58. Now, it's got quite good reviews, this thing, but just so you know, this cost me $25.99 from Amazon. I can't believe that you can get this for $25.99. I've heard the demos online. It doesn't sound exactly like an SM58 when you compare it to them online. There is a slight difference, but it still does sound good, and it still is in the same ballpark tone-wise. Now, the other thing that's cool is it comes in this plastic case. For 25 quid, I have absolutely no idea how Behringer, or Behringer, however you say it, can produce this and put it in a case as well. And it's actually a decent case, you know, so it's even padded out on the inside, look. So that is pretty neat for $25.99, unbelievable. I think Thomann have these for less than that. I think at Thomann they're like $21.99, something like that. If you want to buy one of these for yourself, for miking up your guitar amp or for singing through or whatever, then please go down there below in the Thomann affiliate link, and if you go through there, anything you buy when you're on the Thomann site helps support me here at my end. So that's enough plugging. Yeah, I can't wait to use this thing. what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a demo. It's pretty heavy actually. I wasn't expecting it to feel that weighty, but that is a pretty heavy duty mic. It feels well built, you know. With my eyes shut, I wouldn't know that wasn't an SM58, to be honest. But yeah, it seems okay, but is it reliable? Does it sound good? What's the sound quality like? What I'm going to do in my video, because I don't have an SM58, is I'm going to compare the Ultra Voice 8500 to an SM57 that I use in all my videos. I'm going to leave it in exactly the same place, and we're going to test it out that way. I can't wait to do that demo, actually. You know, and if this sounds better than it, better than the SM57 that I've used all this time, I probably will just start using this all the time, because I'm not scared of gear. You know, I'm not a gear snob, even though I have all this expensive gear behind me. You know, I use Sonic 8 pedals all the time and stuff like that. You know, I'm quite an ambassador for budget gear that everybody can afford, and I try and listen with my ears and see if I prefer tones with my ears without judging by price tags and my eyes. Anyway, I have to go now, guys. Let me know in the comments below what you think about the worldwide guitar shortage. Are you waiting for a guitar? That's what I want to know. If you've been waiting a long time for a guitar, please let me know down below in the comments what factory it is made in, you know, it's Korea, Indonesia, USA, Japan, wherever. Let me know where the guitar is made and what guitar it is, because I'm really interested to know about that. Let me know what you think about an Engl Savage 25. Is it a good idea or not? And more importantly, let me know if you have any experience with this Behringer Ultra Voice mic. Thanks for watching, guys. This is episode 4 of Gear Chat. I'll see you in episode 5.